Okay, and welcome guys here tonight at Racing League Hub. Today, this evening we are watching Category 6 Round 8 Canada. One of the last races of this round as we are waiting for the qualifying to load up. So yeah, really exciting race. Nice track today here at Racing League. Canada, Montreal. Fast track, lots of low downforce, and famous for his really good sharp hairpin and the famous Wall of Champions. And we have a dry qualifying, so that's good for lots of drivers as the track is real risky in the rain because of the speed. Waiting for the first cars to go out. And we see a McLaren going out, so let's see who it's going to be. And also a racing point, and that will be Roosbeertje, as he is out first for tonight's race on his out lap. And let's hope to see what he's gonna do tonight as we're setting up the spectators menu. We've already seen some really good races so far this round at Canada. Let's hope these guys can set up a good show also. I have great expectation from this race as there are really fast guys here. Guys with a lot of potential. So let's hope on a good race here today as Roosbeertje now goes through the hairpin onto the back straight. And almost on his first lap. And interesting to see that Fernandez is the only one finishing the mediums in his first lap. Not sure if it will work out fine. Not a lot of rubber on track so far. But he's still in the pit, so let's hope it will work out for him. As we are on board with Roosbeertje, and we have a yellow already in sector 3, and I believe it was a Renault. At least it says it's... No, it was... I have no idea. As we are switching back to Roosbeertje. Already halfway the circuit. Of course, setting up a fastest sector 2 so far, as there are no fastest laps set yet. And already we see almost all cars out on track. So nice busy track so far. Only the Williams of Fernandez still in pit lane. Oh no, sorry, the Renault of Jones, excuse me. As Roosbeertje sets the first time with a 1:12. And let's see who's gonna be the... Oh, and Fernandez spun after Wall of Champions. As we have a new fastest lap, only by a few hundredths of seconds. And then a new fast... Oh, they're coming in right now. A fastest lap, 1:10.8 and a 1:10.1 now. So a lot of guys setting some fast lap already. As BG Skipsy takes a 1:9.2. Great lap from him. And also Evil Master going into the 1:9s with a 1:9.9. So that's 7/10 faster for BG Skipsy so far, but we're so early in the qualifying, so let's see for the guys who didn't set up a lap so far. And we are now on board with Trevor, who invalidated. Cosmo going into the pits, and Fernandez on a new lap on those medium tires. So we already saw he had a little spin, spin in the Wall of Champions. And a lots of luck up here. But keeping it clean. And let's see what he can set up for time. As he's now going under the back straight to the last few corners with the Wall of Champions. And it's gonna be 1:12.7 for him. Yeah, there's quite some improvement there, I guess. As also Jones is now on his outlap. And do we have a few cars still going for a lap? I don't think so, because a lot of cars are already on 2 laps. As McLaren now exits the pits. And it's gonna be Trevor who's gonna set up his first time. Fitted on new softs, so not sure if that would work out. Already putting on new softs after 1 lap in validation. But let's hope for the best for him. And Altea already on a 3 lap all tires. As Goo is really close behind Trevor. But we're gonna stay on Trevor for a bit. With a different angle. As he's now running up to the hairpin. And onto the back straight. So only 2 cars so far managed to get a 1.9 with quite a gap between them. Both Mercedes at P2 and P3 at the moment, not far behind each other with time, and that was really close to the wall. And he's setting up. Oh no, he was on his outlap. Excuse me. So for the people who do follow C6 a lot, put up some expectations in the chat. What do you think the podium will be? In my opinion, Evil Master is a serious candidate on taking the win today. Also Shag Attack really fast. Cosmo improving himself last races. So excited. Would like to see what he can do, as Cosmo is now the first one to set up a lap. And Trevor coming right behind him. And Cosmo not using DRS, now he is. And he's in a 110, so that's P3 for him. 110 flat. Good lap from Cosmo in the Alfa Romeo. And let's see what Trevor got. He's in a 110.5, so also a good lap for him. As Jones invalidated. Also Fernandez invalidated on his outlap, but so no worries about him. On the softs now, let's see what he can do on the softer tire. As he did his first lap on the mediums. Now going on to the back straight. Car really close behind him. And I believe that's Daddy Spritz, who's also on his second lap. And Fernandez invalidates. And we have Bruno here in the Alpha Tauri on his second lap. And that's a really clean line there. Oh, a little bit of backspin, but no worries about that. Not a lot of time loose there. And now running up for the hairpin. Well, and he is improving himself with 410 so far. Let's see if we can take a little bit of a lot more than that. Good line there from him. And he's going to P5 with a 199. So far, 3 guys really close behind each other. Cosmo with a 199 also. They're only a few hundreds behind each other, Evil Master, Cosmo and Bruno. And only a few hundreds behind there is Daddy's Prince. Shack Attack and Evil Master are in the pit lane now, and BG Skipsy on his second lap. Can he go for the 1.8? It's not usually in category 6 to have a 1.8 on your qualifying, but of course you can be good at the track, so that way it is possible. Let's see who's, as Bruno invalidates, Matt Johnson invalidates, so a lot of invalidations here. And Altea on a faster lap in a hairpin. He's not improving. Let's see if he can take a bit time off going through turn 13 and 14. That's not really fast there. Not taking a lot of risk, which is understandable. You don't want a DNF there. And let's see who's also on this lap. I believe Matt Johnson was on an invalidation. So yeah. And Trevor still in turn 1, so we're gonna watch what BG Skipsy's gonna do, and he's going for a 1.8. Great lap from him with a 1.89, so that's a really fast lap from the Renault driver. As we're now gonna switch back to Trevor, who is going into sector 2. Let's see if he is improving his time. And the yellow flags, and he is improving by 1/10 of a second. Massive lock up there, but taking a good line. Running out wide, taking a short line to the DRS zone, close to the wall. And let's see what he can do. He's currently at P7. Hitting the wall of champions, nice got there. And he's still at P7. He did improve by 3/10, almost 4/10 of a second, but it wasn't enough for him. And we have, let's see, we have, yeah, you could say 4 cars really close behind each other at the moment, as a lot of cars now going for his last lap and looking for that big improvement. And there's a Renault in front of him. I believe it's, yeah, it is Jones. So let's see what Jones can do in front of the AlphaTauri. Again, also not taking a lot of risk there, but he's in the 1/10 and he's going to P11. So it is an improvement for him, but not exactly what he wanted, I guess. As Bruno invalidates, also Daddy Spritz invalidating. Let's see who's almost, yeah, and it's Luca is now running up to the back straight. Keeping it slow, so he's not setting up a lap now. Can we see another car? There's an Haas, and he goes in. So no excitement there. Let's go to Octavio, excuse me. Octavio here in AlphaTauri. maybe looking for closing up to his teammate. That will be nice for both the Alpha Tauris. And he's in a 1-5 now, so he isn't gonna improve his time and going to the pits. Now we have McLaren and Alfa Romeo running up. It was Trevor that is Spritz now also invalidate, so it's really risky in the last turn. You need to cut the chicane at the right angle. You can't cut the first one and then also the second one, but the tires need to be on the right position there. And where a lot of guys go wrong is the back end of the car. A lot of guys steer in with on the right moment with the rear with the front tires, but the rear tires will stay behind, and that way the rear tires are going back outside the line. As Bruno is improving himself by a lot. He's going to a 194, and that brings him to P3, breaking up the Mercedes and putting both the Alfa Romeos behind each other. Also the McLarens behind each other. So let's see if there can be two team fight there. And we are now, I believe it's Goo. Oh, and oh! So we luckily just got that on stream as Shack Attack went off the track, bounced back on, and Goo hitting him really hard. Yeah, there was no way for him to avoid the car there. But it is quite an impact, as Goo is on a medium and on this outlap. So how unfortunate for him, he's not going to be able to do another lap. And that will make sure he's not improving himself. So it was Shack Attack who spun. And has a lot of wing damage there. And we missed Octavio and Fernandez going out of this qualifying. Yeah, quite a show there. As Trevor is trying to get his last lap on. Let's see who is still on his outlap, and it's Altea still on his hot lap. On 2 laps old, as Shack Attack retired. So what happens with the Mercedes there? I can't imagine he just retired from out of himself on this position. Maybe he did, going for fresh tires, of course. DNFing himself, hoping to get fresh tires, but I believe he went into the pits, so that won't be the case. And the only car still managing to get a time up is, I believe, Rosebecher, as he is on fresh soft tires, as Trevor invalidates and also Jones invalidates. And we have another Renault, but let's see if Rosebecher did manage to set up a last lap before end of qualifying. And he did, but didn't improve himself enough to climb up the grid and stays on P15. And that's it for this qualifying session. So Skipsy on P1 with 5/10 quicker than P2 at Shack Attack. And then Bruno behind him in the AlphaTauri. Evil Master behind Bruno at P4 in the Mercedes. And I believe we had both Alfa Romeos and both McLarens behind there. Let's take a quick look, and we are alright. So Cosmo at P5, good lap from him. Daddy Spritz at P6, Trevor P7, Matt Johnson at P8. It's Luca at P9, Octavio at P10, Jones at P11, Gu at P12, Fernandez at P13, Altea 14 and Rosebitch starting from the back here today at Canada in category 6 at P15. And Shack Attack taking 5 positions, so that will change the grids. So he won't be at P2, but P7. And it looks like it's gonna be a dry race also. So that's lucky for these drivers today. And waiting for the grids to ready up. So good qualifying. Nice times for a few guys in setting up in category 6, of course. There were some fast times already at the beginning, of course. We had a big spam of fastest lap as qualifying did. See a little train, and we are here at the warming up lap. Let's enable spectators menu, and we can see that Jones is on the hard tires on P11, Fernandez at the mediums and Rosebitch at the mediums. The rest of the grid chooses for the soft tire. My opinion, I can understand. I would also choose for the soft tire if I started above P10. And Jones, of course, maybe trying to get a one stop, as the cars do heat up pretty quick at this track. And a lot of all the cars warming up those tires. And yes, so it's a grid change. Bruno goes to P2, Cosmo to P4, Evil Master at P3, so that stays. That is Spritz at P5, Trevor P6, so now Shack Attack did split up the McLarens. But would also be in a McLaren sandwich from start on, as the grid is now forming up again and getting ready for Canada here today. For a lot of drivers, one of the favorite tracks, just because of the speed, low downforce, and the risk, of course, taking turn 13 and 14, also known as the Wall of Champions. Also great starts always. Starts always surprise a lot of the guys. They're two turns really close behind each other, so some guys will try to go to close the gap, and some guys will just dive into the gap. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and we're off here at Canada C6. And a lot of wheel spin for the Renault in the front, but he did manage to get a pretty good start, and it's a good start from Evil Master there. And also a McLaren went wide and needed to cut the corner. It's Trevor, who did take 3 seconds already after just the start, as the setup board screws up again a little bit. And let's see what we can see from the back. And it looks like everyone went through clean, as Shack Attack already up to P6. So he did manage to get a place there as he goes wide into the hairpin, and also Teddy Spritz went a little wide and close to the wall there. Let's see, as we are watching Bruno, and the times are not. As Cosmo takes P3. So that's a really good overtake from him, and yeah, Bruno did definitely get a warning there, going side to side to turn 1. Who's gonna take the long end? And it's gonna be Cosmo taking the inside and making it hard for Bruno to switch back, cross back, and oh, he did look at the gap with Cosmo, but didn't try it. As also the Mercedes and the other Alfa Romeo are now closing in and looking to take participate in this clean fight. So good overtake from Cosmo, going to P3. As Trevor did have a little moment there, and a lot of guys. Yeah, of course you are in a train, so your braking zone will definitely adapt, taking more speed. And there's a yellow in sector 2, and that's for Fernandez. He spun. And can we see any damage? Not so far we can see, so unlucky for him. He did went in, I believe. Let's see. Stops, and he did went in, so he took damage in the first lap. Went for the hard tires, and of course they're not warm enough. As we are switching back to this great fight here in the middle of the grid, where a lot of cars keep joining. And let's see who is the better view. I do believe it's Teddy Spritz, as Trevor is quite behind, but he closed in already. And yeah, so let's see what this train can do. As already Skipsy took 2 seconds gap after 3 laps. So that's a good start from him. And also Cosmo taking still 2 seconds behind Evil Master, closing in by a bit, but need to defend hard on Bruno. And he did a little backspin there, but he managed to skip it out of the wall. Taking quite a bit of exit then, Bruno. And Bruno taking a little spin there. You can see the car sliding a little bit. That's what it gets when you're too much on the inside at turn 1. The acceleration point screws up that a little bit, and you will lose your back end a little bit, but it's easy to recover. Luckily, just step a foot of the gas and steer right back. And Bruno still really close behind Cosmo. Cosmo doesn't seem to shake him off, and DRS is enabled, so Bruno will definitely gonna be taking P3 back here at the back straight, and he is through. And now also Shack Attack joining in on this fight, as he had DRS, he still has DRS, and Cosmo doesn't. But Cosmo's keeping it real clean and keeping the car straight behind Bruno, looking for a moment to take back his position. And yeah, it is a little DRS train forming up here at the middle of the track from P4 to P7. And let's see if he can have some nice fights at the back, as Ghoul went a little sharp there and cut at the corner. And both Haases now trying to help each other out, I guess. Oh, and his Luca went a little wide. Let's hope he didn't pick up any damage. It's easy to take some damage there, and he did. There's a missing end plane there, end plates there. But not especially something you do need to pit for, in my opinion. Yeah, you can drive for another 3-4 laps on those softs with a missing nose, with a missing end plate. So a lot of things going on here at the back, but also in the front, as Cosmo is now getting pressured by Shack Attack and ran wide, and probably crossed him back pretty good. And Shack Attack now in a better position on the inside. Let's see if we can have a better look here, and we do see Cosmo pulling back, but still managing to keep it close behind Shack Attack, as also Trevor dives in the fight and saying, guys, I'm still here. And also Daddy Spritz seeing his teammates fight and also want to join in. So a lot of things going on here in the middle of the pack, as the gaps in the front are closing, are going up and up. BJ already with a 3 seconds gap, so it's a clean race from him, no pressure at all. And Cosmo goes in. So did he take any damage, as also Trevor goes in? So did they take any damage, or is it trying to go for the undercut? As Jones takes up a 3-second penalty. And now the gaps are a little bit bigger here in the middle of the pack, as Good takes another 3-second penalty. So let's see at the penalties already. Cosmo with 8 seconds. That's a lot for something that so early in a race. Daddy Spritz also with 3-second penalty. Good with a 3-second penalty. Luca Jones and also Trevor with a 3-second penalty. Yes, Cosmo went in for the mediums, and also Trevor did go for the mediums, so they're definitely trying to get an undercut there. I do think. Did Cosmo? Oh, Cosmo got 11. So it isn't working out for him so far on penalties, as he was doing such a great job. And Althea now really close at Matt Johnson. Matt Johnson going in, and Althea misses the break point. I didn't expect Trevor to go, Matt Johnson to go in, and got a big corner there. Luckily he didn't get any penalty so far. And still 7 cars on the softs. We're on the leader of the pack. It's Gipsy with already 4-second gap, so that's a good clean race for him so far. And we do see some action in the back, as we have a little train forming up of 4 cars almost. Because also Octavio is trying to take advantage of what's going on in front of him. As Shack Attack did defend the inside. Cosmo did take a look, and Shack Attack Yeah, did he miss a braking point, or did he try to avoid contact with Trevor? As Cosmo is now taking back position 11. And that was, he shouldn't go any wider, or he would have hit Cosmo in the side of the car. But nothing happened here, and Cosmo having no DRS, I believe, and he did do DRS, and Cosmo takes another penalty. But he did get a little push off track by Shack Attack, as it is a really close call to make an overtake there. And BJ Skipsy now going on and on, still on those soft tires, as the rest of the pack did pit and got on those medium tires. So let's see what's happening here, as Octavio also joins in the fight here at the back. And we see Evil Master really closing in on Goo, and he's through. Not only does that rhyme, but it's also a really good overtake from him. As BJ Skipsy takes 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, so that's unfortunate for him. Taking on 5 seconds in your first pit. And now Evil Master joining. Oh, is it gonna be close? It's gonna be close. And what is gonna be? No, it's Evil Master still at P2, as BJ Skipsy did that very well. And Goose still on his soft tires, but we did see he's a lot slower than the guys behind him, as also already Bruno is closing in really fast. Also Rosebitch here really close behind him, but he's on the 9 laps old mediums. So my advice to go in, man. Your times are getting off. You're losing a lot of places this way. And ooh, that's a really risky turn. Risky move from Bruno there. Got it off the corner. Goo going really wide. Losing a lot of time again. Just because of that overtake. But no contact so far, and that's good for both drivers. And let's see if we can have another fight somewhere, as Trevor is closing in on Daddy Spritz. Trevor on the older tire, but having DRS. Daddy Spritz doesn't. So far, good strategy from Jones in a Renault, going for the hard tires, knowing he is gonna be slower, but yeah, can drive a lot of laps on those tires and go for the softs after. Maybe mediums. I would think he's going for the mediums, but if you can manage to keep your tires at a good temperature, and you can go for the softs, but it will be risky. It will be very risky. So I do think he's going for the mediums, as Daddy Spritz pops up in the chicane, in the hairpin, excuse me, and that was really close there. Now also taking P5 from Jones with DRS, and that's 2 moves in 1 turn. Actually, not literally, but yeah, he did take 2 moves in 1 turn. So good race from him, so good clean driving from him. As Rosebitch is now struggling on those older mediums, getting the pressure on from Daddy Spritz. And we do see now a lot of penalties pop up, as Cosmo is at 14 seconds. So that's not a good position for him. And Cosmo does close in on Jones now. Is going to be faster on those medium tires. And he does overtake him. Ooh, but it's gonna be side to side into the hairpin. But now Jones backs off, knowing it could go wrong there. And now also ready again, little train forming up from P4 to P7. Yeah, I do think you can say P8 by actually. So all the fights going on in the middle of the pack. At the back there are some guys closing in on each other, but not far enough. As Cosmo is now looking for the overtake on Rosebeer, being on the younger tires. Is he gonna be patient enough to wait for the second DRS zone? As we do know, the first DRS zone is pretty rare. Oh, and a little touch there, I guess. Oh, but he did overtake him. Having the DRS, and it's pretty rare to have a clean overtake here. But already being really close behind Rosebeer before the DRS. Managed to let him take this position. Now back behind his teammate. So all the exciting things are going on in the middle of the pack. Didn't expect that actually. I did believe Evil Master would have picked up a good fight with Skipsy. But yes, Skipsy showing everyone that he is fast. Of course, Evil Master also. But yeah, already 6.5 seconds behind P1 in lap 14. And being on the same strategy, but all the tires try to close that. As we did see a little luck up there, and Luca taking another 3-second penalty, and also Octavio going for P9, overtaking Jones in a Renault, trying to avoid contact there with Rosebeer, who's also slower on those tires. So let's see, and it's gonna be clean there. And because he was behind him before the DRS checkpoints, he did take DRS and now can make a gap. So let's see what's happening in front. Trevor with Daddy Spritz really close behind him. Both cars on penalties. Both cars on 3 seconds penalties. So no advantage for one of them there. And Rosebeer does seem to keep up with Jones and Renault. And also Shake Attack closing in on Cosmo. Having the DRS right now and Cosmo doesn't. And also having the advantage of ERS. Yes, Cosmo is now using some for the exits. Shake Attack on full ERS now. Only taking and also Cosmo on full ERS. So hard defending right here. And also hard attacking. In my opinion, you do need to try and save a lot of DRS as you can. Of course, there was a train forming up, so you use a little more, but now you can see having not enough ERS to just use a little more. Oh, and he takes a little spin there, so that's that's the big moment Cosmo was waiting for, giving me the little air there. Now gonna save ERS and trying to close in on Daddy Spritz. Join this fight with his teammate against Trevor and trying to take the 5 and 6. And Octavio, because of the spin, closing in a check attack, having now DRS with 4 tenths behind him, 5 tenths behind him. Is it gonna be enough though? Check attack 3% ERS. Good line there. And both cars not taking the shortest line to turn 1. I do think if, yeah, of course he was in a slipstream, but I do think if Octavio did take the inside line there, he would have managed to keep closer behind check attack. And that is Brit still 5 tenths behind Trevor, having a lot of DRS again, but Trevor also, although Daddy Spritz doesn't seem to use any. Not a lot in any case. And now being really close, 4 tenths behind Trevor. Trevor pumping his ERS out. And Daddy Spritz isn't. So why does he save that much ERS that close behind the car with DRS? As someone went in, and it's gonna be Bruno who went in for the hard tire. No, for the medium tire. Excuse me, I looked at the wrong car. So now all 3 cars, and Matt Johnson having a little trouble here. Oh, and that was really close. Getting the blue flag already. So let's see if Daddy Spritz. So the exit of Trevor is better at this corner, but Daddy Spritz keeping the car really close behind him, and does have the opportunity to overtake him, but every time he doesn't seem to use overtake button. So wondering why. As Trevor, of course, does use the overtake button a lot more for the defending, and that's why Daddy Spritz isn't closing in enough to take a fast overtake. As Cosmo is now in for his second pit stop. Still no, you're not using ERS. So curious about that. As we do see some fights going on in the back. 3 cars along with Goo at 8, Bruno at 9 and Altea at 10. And there was a little close fight there. Altea taking the advantage of Bruno being off the grid, and he's going outside. Can he keep it on the outside? No, he doesn't. DRS. But Bruno having more ERS to use. And now really closing in on Goo, but didn't go for the lay break. So very wise from him there. You can take out both cars in that turn. And now we see almost hold the grid, holding up penalties. Let's see what the times are. Cosmo with a 12 seconds, so he's gonna be having a lot of position lost if he does climb up. And Jones having 9 seconds. It's Luca having 9 seconds. And only Matt Johnson not having any penalties so far. But he's yeah, he's a minute behind the leader. A minute behind Fernandez, already being on a lap. Let's see, yeah, they do having a battle on ERS. Except Daddy Spritz, who did overtake him. But Trevor did go into the pits, so that's gonna be it. And Daddy Spritz did use some ERS right now. So, good to see, but he is saving a lot of them. And of course also Skipsy, but he doesn't have any defenses needed, as he is 14 seconds in front of him. And we have a yellow flag, and it's Matt Johnson spinning after the hairpin, and went back on track clean. Good job from him, waiting for the right moments, as Fernandez is now also behind him, having a blue flag. So today isn't working out for him. Really unfortunate for the McLaren driver. And let's see what we can see at the front. Octavio trying to find that P4 place. And yeah, as already said it in the chat by Dragos, a lot of cars using a lot of ERS. In the defending, it's of course obvious you take a DRS on, but also seems to be a lot of cars who use it. On the moment, it doesn't really need. As now also Matt Johnson takes a penalty for ignoring blue flag, and now the full grid has a penalty on their name, as I do believe Google goes in and recovers 5 seconds. No, he did have 6 seconds, so that's 3 second penalties for him. And also, so did I miss it? But also Rosebeecher went on the softs for already 6 laps, so he's going medium, soft, medium. And let's see whether, and there's another, and Matt Johnson is out. Let's see who's gonna be close enough to, I do believe it's gonna be here. And yeah, he retired in the pits, I think, although he did DNF, so he might have also hit the wall of champions. After his tires, of course, heated up really quick after that spin. So that happens a lot at Canada. But we do see another yellow flag. But for who was it? And you have Rosebeecher really close behind Luca. But we also see Altea, yeah, now we found him. Altea, really close behind Jones here. And we do see a little fight between teammates. And am I looking the right? Yeah, and it's gonna rain. So, small bits of rain dropping out. And now it's gonna get exciting. Is it gonna rain hard enough for the cars to go on the intermediates with only with still 11 laps left? So it is possible. And let's see what it's gonna do. The track is really warm though, so not a lot of rain will stay on track. But yeah, it does give a little excitement to the last laps of the race. And Altea was struggling a bit to overtake Jones here, who's on 23 laps old hards. So really wanting to see what he's gonna do after this one, as he does keep really close behind Althea, having DRS right now. But can he manage to overtake him? Also Jones not using ERS. And Althea going in for his second stop this lap race. And let's see if we can find... oh, and we need to Cosmo with a really deep dive bomb there. But he did manage to take the position. So that was really risky from the Alfa Romeo driver. And we are now on board with Octavio, closing in on Shack Attack. And not that far behind them is Trevor. And Octavio didn't manage so far to overtake him at the first back straight DRS zone, but can he do it in the second one? And he doesn't. So, and we do see Goo on intermediates. Let's stay on Goo for a little while. I'm really excited to see how this is gonna work out for him, as he does seem to lose a lot of time, and of course using mediums, using intermediates, using intermediates on a too dry track will burn your tires up. Yeah, we do see Goo with a little change in the braking line, as Daddy Spritz now sets in on a lap. But is DRS still enabled? So let's see, and DRS is enabled, so the track is clearly not wet enough to disable DRS. So I'm wondering how is this gonna work out for Goo, as he already lost 2 seconds, almost 3 seconds on the car in front of him. And let's rejoin the fight going on here, as we have a 3 car fight, and it's a yellow flag, and it's gonna be for Goo, I guess. Yeah, and it is gonna be for Goo. So the intermediates really don't work until now. He did lose a front wing, I guess. I did see something next to the track. And if the game will work on us a little bit. And yeah, he did lose his front wing. Now, going back to the fight, and we do have 2 whites, and it's Octavio on Check Attack, and he does take the position. Oh, but little slip there. So the track is a bit wet, but yeah, clearly not wet enough. But for the older tires, it's kind of struggling so far. I do believe the guys on the younger tires are having more advantage at the moment, as also this fight broke up a little bit, and Rosebeach taking a place, and also Jones going for the intermediates, as Goo retired from the session. So some cars do think it's needed. to go into the intermediates, but we saw with Goo, it doesn't work that well. Already taking a spin after just one lap. So let's see if Jones is... Oh, and he's taking those corners really slow. So there's no grip for the intermediates. As Daddy Spritz goes to the soft tire. Is he gonna be in front of Cosmo though? And he is. So still in front of his teammate. And closest gap so far is from Bruno at Shack Attack. And we do see Shack Attack also on 21 lap old medium. So is he gonna try to go to the softs next bit? But he does lose a lot of time. Oh, and still using overtake into the turn. So that's what the lockup was. Braking real hard on still using overtake and braking really hard. That's such a sharp corner. Does disadvantage you and lock up your tires. And we did have a yellow flag, but I didn't see for who. There's both AlphaTauris now at P4 and P5. Let's see if we can change some position from penalties, and there's a lot of penalties flying out now. As now also it's Altea now on the intermediate tire. I do believe it's wiser to go soft tire, but that's me. I can't feel the track, so. And yeah, penalties are a lot. Cosmo with 15 seconds, it's Luca with 15 seconds, Jones with 15 seconds, Trevor with 11 seconds. So there will definitely change some positions, and also a lot of cars having a lot of luck with the driver in front of them having more penalties. And Bruno takes the position, as we did see Octavio back out a little bit. So he gave the position. Oh, and we did catch that. As Shack Attack went into the last chicane with Octavio next to him. Octavio cutting the corner, so trying to avoid contact, but Shack Attack on the early acceleration, I guess. And that with a kind of slippy track. And also Daddy Spritz is off. So the cars are having a little trouble with grip so far with this weather. But there are only 4 laps left. Are you gonna decide to still take those intermediates? And we have the leader of the race in pits. And he's going for the soft, so not taking any risk there. As now Evil Master does close up a lot. That was because of the 5-second penalty Skipsy had. But he managed to keep in front of Evil Master, who does need to pit. Nah, he doesn't. If he did, he must have gone the same lap as Skipsy, but then of course you wouldn't close the gap enough. But now he does it also. And we have now 3 cars on the intermediates. But yes, yeah, so far it's hard to say which tire works better. In my opinion, it is the medium or soft tire. And we did see a little touch there from Trevor on Evil Master, but no damage for one of them. Trevor is now faster, and we have a yellow in sector 2. 3. Excuse me. But for who was it? I do believe it was for Cosmo? There was a yellow flag there. And now also Shag Attack getting attacked by Daddy Spritz. And Daddy Spritz back on P7. So good overtake from him. And let's switch back to Trevor for a second. Oh, and Cosmo really close behind Xavier. And Xavier having a little slip, but also Cosmo having a little slip. And is he going for the break? And he did go for the break. There was a little touch, I guess, but it was a touche a little bit, so no hard feelings on that one. And let's see, Trevor still really close behind Evil Master. Is he gonna take him this lap? And we have Shag Attack off. So some cars do seem to have trouble finding the grip for these weather conditions. And it's mainly the guys on all the tires. So it's Octavio, Shag Attack, and Evil Master not having that much of a problem so far, but also Evil Master having the risk on... Oh, yes, we did see a little slip there from Trevor. But also Evil Master having the risk of having a more spin, a wheel spin, than cars on younger tires. And Jones does seem to keep Evil Master and Trevor up a bit. But he has blue flag, so he must give them space. And we have yellow in sector 3. But nothing else. And Trevor did lose a lot of time because being stuck behind. And we have the racing points. We had a little touche with each other. And Trevor now on the inside, on the outside, and he takes it very clean. In the last lap, almost the last lap, excuse me, almost the last lap of the race. Now he just needs to defend and try to keep Evil Master away for a while, and it does seem to work out, as Evil Master is already behind him a second. And now Trevor did take P2, and is it gonna be P2 as well with penalties? Ooh, that's gonna be close, as Trevor managed to have 11 seconds and Evil Master only 6. It's Luca on 20 seconds penalties, by the way, and Jones on 23. Has Skipsy left the session? Yeah, he did left the session, but he's all across start finish. So he's the winner of this race here today at C6 Canada. Great drive from him. Going from P1 at the start to P1 at the end. So good drive from him here. And let's see if Evil Master is gonna take that P2. And he is. Trevor did take a 5 seconds penalty again. And we have yellow sector 2. And that was for Rosebeertje in the racing point. And now waiting for the cars to finish the race here today at Canada and taking their positions. And yeah, of course, Evil Master also great race from him. Trevor, great race from him. Also good race from the Alpha Tauris and the Alpha Romeos, splitting each other up, but did take a lot of points today here at Canada. And we are waiting for the last car to finish, and it's gonna be over. So this was the race here today at Canada, the last race of this round, category 6, with winner Skipsy and driver of today Trevor. I want to thank you all for watching today's race as we're going to the podium at the moment. Yeah, thanks for all for watching today's race. I enjoyed the commentary again, and hopefully till next week in round 9. Have a great evening, guys, and till next week. Bye bye.